See, Naveen Patnaik doesn't speak Odia, but Naveen Patnaik has very successfully and very effectively got into the hearts of people. People are not accepting Bandian as again, quote unquote, natural successor to Naveen Patnaik. So the BJP thought with Naveen Patnaik, entering into this, 25th year, also in power, and also his health is under, questionable. Like, he is not as visible in public like before. Leaders like Narendra Modi goes and talk about Oria Pride again to throw out a leader like Naveen Patnaik. It is not very convincing to people. What is convincing to people is the outsider like Pandian is taking over the BJD.
Hello and welcome to the Indian Express. The eastern state of Odisha will start voting in the ongoing Lok Sabha elections. It is a three-way contest there with the NDA and the ruling Biju Janata Dal and also the India Alliance. I have with me Liz Mathews, who has been has visited the state recently, and she has spoken to important leaders. Liz will tell us about some of the key issues in this state, and also the curious case of the missing CM, or the main face of the Biju Janata Dal there. Liz, firstly, in your interview with Dharmendra Pradhan, who is the NDA face in Odisha, he criticized Naveen Patnaik as being the absentee face of Biju Janata Dal. If you could tell us more about that.
Yeah, that is one accusation or allegation or one of the charges the BJP is raising against Biju Janata Dal and Naveen Patnaik, who is still extremely popular, and his schemes are extremely popular. He is a very credible and accepted face in Odisha. And for the BJP, you should remember it is a party who had alliance with the BJD, then broke up with it, and has been having a friendly alliance. We have seen instances in which Prime Minister Narendra Modi is holding hands with Naveen Patnaik and praising him, lauding him, even just few weeks ago, weeks ahead of the election announcement. So BJP is kind of fighting a very hard battle there, because for the BJP, it had found the atmosphere, the ground is kind of suitable and conducive for it to grow as the dominant party, or it is the alternative already because there is no other opposition party. So the BJP thought with Naveen Patnaik, entering into this, 25th year, also in power, and also his health is under, questionable. Like, he is not as visible in public like before. See, like we know that BJP's major plank in this election is Modi guarantee and the popularity of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So when it comes to popularity, Narendra Modi is of course popular, and BJP can capitalize it in the Lok Sabha election because it is central election, national party and national leader. All these issues are there. But Odisha, as we know, is having simultaneous election. And when it comes to the state election, the people there, first of all, the Odisha has been voting like that. So they can differentiate between the Lok Sabha election, the parliamentary election and the assembly election. Maybe like 2-3% vote, maybe let it get confused. But the voters are, have been doing it, and they can differentiate between the two. So they have done that in the past too. So I'll come to that absentee part. So for the BJP, the major issue, or it's some issue which they can kind of, find traction among the voters, is this only, that the chief minister is not in his, good health, and he is unlikely to complete the next term. So where is he? Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan is saying in the interview with Indian Express that the chief secretary may not have met the chief minister for a year. The DG may not have met the chief minister for a year. MLAs or the ministers are not allowed to meet the chief minister. Here the issue comes of Mr. Pandian's issue who is facing a lot of fire as under tag of outsider.
And yes, of course, the outsider tag that you mentioned does that translate into the ground? Like, do people also see him as an outsider, Pandian?
Yes, yes, yeah. It is, like if you talk to any auto, like I traveled, from the border to Sambalpur, from there to Sambalpur to Bhubaneswar by road. You stop, you ask anyone, whether it is a BJD leader, BJD supporter, or even a common voter, a fan of Naveen Patnaik, a fan of BJD, everyone would say no. For some, Pandian comes from Tamil Nadu. For some, Pandian comes from Kerala. For some, Pandian comes from Andhra. But he's not an Odia. And we know we should take note of this point that BJP's one slogan is that Odia Asmita, the Oria Pride. So yeah, they are trying to, because they have already sensed this growing discontent among the party cadre, among the party leaders, and among the public against Pandian taking over or becoming a quote-unquote natural successor to Naveen Patnaik. See, Naveen Patnaik doesn't speak Odia, but Naveen Patnaik has very successfully and very effectively got into the hearts of people. He, I would say, cast a spell on them. They are not, even at this, after 24 years, they are not ready to kind of write him off or kind of reject him. That is the situation. But Pandian, a strict no from the cadre, from the common voters, whoever I have spoken to on the way, on the route, and even in Bhubaneswar, the capital city, people are not accepting Pandian as again, quote-unquote, natural successor to Naveen Patnaik.
I would also like to talk about the Oria Ashmita that you briefly mentioned right now. Like, that is a poll plank for BJP too, in the sense pride in Oria language, pride in Oria culture. So how does BJP plan to, counter that? Like, how do they how are they standing for Oria culture, according to Dharmendra Pradhan?
See, there is the, it's a bit ironical because BJP is a national party. Of course, they have leaders from Odisha. Like Dharmendra Pradhan. Now they have leaders who like Baijayan Panda. They have leaders, and Dharmendra Pradhan.
Yes, Sambit Patra too, right?
Sambit Patra is fighting election. Yeah, he's kind of voice and face of BJP for many television viewers. And these leaders, and they came through ranks also, like both Dharmendra Pradhan and Sambit Patra, leaders like that. They have come from ABVP background, or like from they grew through the ranks. So Dharmendra Pradhan has been the face of BJP, Odisha BJP for a long time. So they will talk about this Oria Pride. So they say that Prime Minister Modi is very particular, the BJP is very particular to promote Odia culture, Odia tradition, and the leaders from the state. They speak all these things, and there is a high decibel campaign, and we know that how BJP campaigns, with the other day Himanta Biswa Sharma was there. They bring all national leaders to campaign in many constituencies. At the same time, BJP is a national party and BJD is an Odia party. As we know that, Biju Janata Dal, unlike other parties like Trinamool Congress or even NCP or other parties, regional parties, including BRS from Telangana, they tried to, he even, K. Chandrasekhar Rao even tried to change the name of the party from TRS to Telangana Rashtra Samiti to BRS, so to get a national tag. Unlike all these parties, Biju Janata Dal or Naveen Patnaik never tried to, have anything outside Odisha. They tried to be an Odia party, and just that identity of that Odia identity very intact and very safe. So, so when BJP as a national party and even leaders like Narendra Modi goes and talk about Oria Pride, again, to throw out a leader like Naveen Patnaik, it is not very convincing to people. What is convincing to people is the outsider like Pandian is taking over the BJD, which is not acceptable. So we will not accept that. That is acceptable, people. That is very, very much acceptable. It is really like, got traction even at the ground level. But BJP talking about, Odia Asmita is not very convincing to the voters.
Also, coming to your travel across Odisha and you speaking to people, what are the key issues on the ground for the people of Odisha? I understand it differs from place to place, but if you could tell us about some main issues.
See, again, we know that Naveen Patnaik has become very popular with his the programs for women, self-help groups, and it's a wide network. And Pandian's also strength is that because Pandian had managed that, and that women, voters and women, this self-help group participants, they have a very good opinion about Pandian, and he enjoys a goodwill among them. That is Pandian's only advantage in Odisha so far, and which is very strong. This SHG group network. That is how the women are the mainstay of the support base of BJD, and the welfare schemes, whether it is for women, whether it is for farmers, whether it is for elderly people, whether it is for students. Recently, he has announced new schemes for students, So this is the welfare schemes and the programs initiated by the government is the main issue in the election. While BJP is trying to tell people that, see, this free ration you are getting is sent by Narendra Modi, but Naveen Patnaik has put BJD's name or Naveen Patnaik's name or face on it. There is, of course, there is some traction. People I have seen, I have met people who are saying that this rice was sent by Modi, but BJD is claiming it. But like I said in the beginning, this is the problem with BJP. The two issues BJP is trying to bank on in other parts of the country, the popularity of their leader and the welfare scheme. In both, Naveen Patnaik is equally good. He enjoys the same goodwill for popularity, credibility, acceptance, as well as for the welfare schemes. So issue now, somehow, at least on the talking point, the issue between the two parties have somehow become only one person, which is who is Pandian. His outsider tag, whether he's going to take over the party after, post Naveen, Patnaik. This has become the only issue which has become a kind of, would you say that, the kind of bone of contention. Otherwise, there is no other thing which is actually differentiating between the two sides. I would say, BJP will definitely capitalize on, Prime Minister Modi's popularity and the welfare schemes, the center's popularity thing for the Lok Sabha election. But, it is fighting a hard battle for, getting that kind of a support and that kind of an acceptance among for the assembly. Because when it comes to the state election, assembly election, people seem to be, giving preference to Naveen Patnaik and BJD. At least this is what people on the ground with whom Indian Express has spoken to have come out and said.
As Liz summed up, we'll have to wait for the June 4th to figure out how exactly Odisha votes. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Indian Express Analysis. This is Premankur Biswas signing off.